The question is for Pete Buttigieg. Why are you always on Fox News? Not that I'm complaining, because it always feels like an unfair fight. And if you wonder too, I'll have his answer in just a minute. As I record this segment, the Democrat National Convention is steamrolling along, and the lineup tonight, at least for me, looks like a Mount Rushmore of Democrat thought leaders. Tim Walz, Amy Klobuchar, Cory Booker, and Pete Buttigieg, one vice president candidate and 3 former presidential candidates. Not only are they party leaders, but they are engaging personalities. But just one of them is my personal favorite, and every time he appears on Fox News, it's a scroll stopper for me, and maybe for you too. And I've often thought to myself, hey Pete, what's that all about? Why do you keep indulging them? And someone this week asked him that very question, and he delivers the most Pete answer ever. I will play it in just a few seconds, but for those who haven't seen his memorable moments in the lion's den of conservative media, here's the most recent interview from the Fox desk at the convention. And after watching him dismantle the well-crafted gotcha questions again, you're going to wonder why they keep inviting his big brain back.
Big showing for the president yesterday. They put him at 11 o'clock, though, last night. Axios writes that he's only available for work between the hours of 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then the Wall Street Journal says when it came down to the debt ceiling negotiations back in 23, Nancy Pelosi had to take over it. Is this the reason why he's no longer the nominee for your party?
It's funny. Sometimes I feel like conservative media and the Republican Party still think they're running against Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. He had an opportunity last night to demonstrate his achievements, right? The fact that he is responsible, for example, for the biggest run of job growth in the history of the American presidency. I think in any job, but especially the presidency, you want to be judged by your results. People want to nitpick the show flow of a cabinet meeting when we have had a country that, when he inherited it, was in a condition where you couldn't even approach the Capitol because of the violent assaults on the Capitol by Trump supporters. Not just getting our country moving on from that, not just getting our country back on its feet from the COVID collapse, but all of the other things that he did, including, by the way, delivering the infrastructure bill that Donald Trump promised and failed to deliver.
But these weren't conservative outlets. I guess you can say the Wall Street Journal is, but
but you're a conservative outlet, and the first thing you're asking about is what time is at a cabinet meeting instead of his chief.
So why is he not the nominee right now?
Because he did something that Donald Trump cannot comprehend, which is to put his ego aside. What negotiations with Nancy Pelosi?
The debt ceiling in 2003, when it came down to the debt ceiling negotiations, that she had to take it over because he didn't know the talking points.
He won the debt ceiling negotiations. That's the point. You can go over whether he slips up and says one name when he wants to say another name, or you can look at what he's actually accomplished as president. It turns out he's really good at being president of the United States.
And now Pete's answer to the burning question.
Over the past few weeks, I've seen you on, I think, every news channel out there, including Fox. And so I'm wondering, why is it important to you to meet people where they are?
Thanks for asking. I never thought that I would be a Fox News frequent flyer, just so you know. That was not on my bingo card of where my career would go if you'd asked me even a few years ago. But the reason I do it is because I think it's important, as your question suggested, to meet people where they are and recognize that I can't be mad at somebody for not embracing our message if they've literally never heard it. And the more one-sided a news network is, the less likely they will have heard it unless I literally go there and share it. And I think it's especially true in this election because I know a lot of folks who watch Fox News and count on Fox News. I know a lot of people in law enforcement who watch Fox News. And I want to make sure they have at least heard about the fact that violent crime went down after Donald Trump got beat, and are invited to reflect on the fact that Donald Trump is asking them to vote for a convicted felon over a prosecutor. I want them to at least have heard that, maybe more often than they would have. I know veterans who watch Fox News. I want to ask them to consider the difference between a ticket led by somebody who faked a disability, getting a doctor's note, taking advantage of him being a teenage multimillionaire so that he wouldn't have to go to Vietnam and let some working class kid go in his place, and whose own chief of staff revealed that he had described people who served this country as suckers and losers, compared to a ticket led by the administration that delivered the PACT Act that made sure that veterans who I served with in Iraq and Afghanistan downwind of burn pits get the cancer treatment that they need, and also has on it a command sergeant major from the National Guard who spent 24 years in uniform. So, like, you know, people, I always visualize people who I know, who I disagree with, and who I like, who are just maybe tuning in. I don't think they're going to see me on Fox for 5 minutes and see the light and suddenly become liberal Democrats. But I know that we're having a healthier conversation if they've at least heard what somebody like me has to say.
Pete's willingness to engage with conservative media outlets like Fox is vital for several reasons. Number one, Pete helps bridge the growing partisan divide in America by demonstrating that Democrats are willing to engage in good faith with those who may disagree. Number two, modeling civil discourse. Pete is also known for his calm, articulate style. By engaging respectfully with conservative hosts and viewers, he models how Americans with different views can have productive conversations. And perhaps most importantly, number three, Pete challenges misinformation. Fox News has been criticized for spreading falsehoods, and he can directly challenge the narratives and present facts to viewers who might otherwise not encounter them. For democracy to function, I think we need more dialogues and fewer monologues, and I appreciate Pete's contributions to that. I'm Dan, thanks for watching, and let's continue to occupy democracy together.